And hey, wow. Hey guys, another one of my series on what makes this photo great. My name is Don Giannetti, lighting-essentials.com, project52prosystem.com, and I've got a website based on my own name, dongiannetti.com, where I talk about the business and the art of photography. Today we're going to talk about one of my all-time favorite photographers, and that's what this series is all about. This isn't a list of the greatest photographers in the world. This is a list of who I thought were great photographers and who I think are great photographers and who influenced me. This is a personal list, not an archived thing of great photographers. There's a lot of great photographers I won't be talking about because they didn't influence me, but man, oh man, did Sarah Moon. I can remember I was over in a little coffee/bookstore in Venice, and I was there on a shoot, and doing what I usually did, go into the magazine stores and see if I could find foreign fashion magazines, because those were hard to find in Phoenix, and I loved French Vogue and Italian Vogue, and I'd come home with those, and Italian Bazaar was, God, that was just fantastic. Anyway, I picked up this magazine on the cover because it was so unique and different. The cover was very soft. There's a lot of grain. It's a really moody, soft, feminine photograph. My God, that's so interesting. Turned out it was Sarah Moon. It was my first introduction to Sarah Moon, and it was fairly close to the first work that she was doing as well. And I've been a fan ever since, just absolutely super fan. Sarah Moon is a rare combination of artistic talent, fashion talent, and the ability to take the photographic medium as her own and do with it whatever she wants to do to create a unique vision. And as you can tell from the photograph right here on the little cover thing here, her vision is sometimes fuzzy and out of focus and a little bit moody, romantic. Let's take a look at some of Sarah's pictures here. This next picture is the picture that Sarah said was the first shot that she took that she knew she was onto something. This was her favorite photograph for a long time that she had taken. I don't even know where to start with this picture. I look at this picture and I go, oh, my God. It just draws me in. I mean, just pulls me into the picture. There's so many questions. Is the dog with the woman? Is the woman sad? Is she happy? What's on her mind? I love the chair over on the side. It's very compelling. You know, it's part of the story. Does that chair matter? Maybe was she sitting there? I don't know. And then the dappled light all around, the slightly out of focus shot. There's no attempt to be technically perfect. It's just a really beautiful, engaging photograph. I absolutely love it. I mean, I can take it apart and talk about the line coming this way and the line going that way, and we can look at where the figure is, and she breaks this little line back there. We have all kinds of depth. We have foreground, middle ground, background, all of those things. But in the end, it's just a picture that makes you stop and look and think. Now, while a lot of people were doing very sexualized images in fashion, Sarah Moon was doing stuff like this. Now, she would take film and she'd push I think the technical term is pushing the ever-living crap out of it, and to get the grain and the softness. And I mean, the grain's so big, the sharpness is removed. Okay, do you see that? The grain just kills the sharpness. That's what she wanted. That's what made it so unique. And from a kid from Phoenix, I'm looking at this and going, well, I was told this is all wrong. I mean, she's not like trying to get grainless pictures. She's trying to get grain in her pictures. But do you see how it moves towards almost a surreal pointillism, maybe? Almost a bit of a painting, a bit of a vision. I just love it. Look at the composition here. The face coming in from the side. She's looking down, she's looking down, she's looking right at us, almost confrontationally, right? And yet she's cropped here, she's cropped here in the face in the middle. Look, it's, I don't know, what do you, it's hard sometimes to really talk about these shots because they're so special. They're so amazing. This is great. Look at the shadow. Look at the movement. I mean, obviously, camera movement in the picture. You can see the little movement around the subject. So there's camera movement in the picture, and that's okay. It looks like a large format Polaroid. Sarah shot every kind of camera you can imagine, from toy cameras to large format cameras, and pretty much everything in between. The camera was part of her style, and choosing the right camera for the picture was part of the aesthetic. You've heard me talk before about how much I miss formats, because the format of the camera would be a part of why I took the picture. It would be, you take a different picture with a Hasselblad than you do with a Nikon, than you do with a Toyo field camera, than you do with an 8x10 Deerdorf in the studio. You take a different picture. It's all part of the Zen, the art of making photography. And so this large format picture is beautifully done. Look at, I love the shadow. She's like dancing with herself. Isn't that great? More grain, more ultra softness, and just a photograph that just pulls you in. It's the she's looking off, she's looking right at us again. We saw that before. This picture, one looking at us, one looking off, one looking off, one looking at us. It's really, it's part and parcel of her softness, of her ultra femininity. I think she was going for. She wasn't doing women as hard or inaccessible or sexual in any way. Just beautiful women being women. Headshot that I cut this out of the magazine that it ran in. I cut it out of the magazine and actually stuck it on the wall in the studio right next to the darkroom door as a reminder of what could be done with photography. It's a contact print from a Polaroid type 55 positive negative. And that was a great film. What you could do is you could take the photograph with the large format camera. You'd get a black and white print in one hand, but in the other hand, as you peeled it off, you were peeling off a negative. You could take the negative, fix it, and have a beautiful negative to print from. And the thing about the negative on the Polaroid is it wasn't silver halide, it was dye. And so there was very little grain. So there was no silver halide crystals in the to become grain, and so all of the softness is done here with just her unique way of shooting. It's just astounding photograph. I know I probably sound like I'm a big fanboy. I am a big fanboy. Sarah Moon just rocks it. Lovely shot, Sarah Moon. Double exposure. Just incredible. This was so typical of so many of her photographs. The off the wall color that would be almost bleeding into everything else. Sometimes the backgrounds showed. Sometimes the whole facade of being a portrait photographer or fashion photographer, the behind the scenes stuff would be there. Sometimes there were light stands in the picture and the background stand was coming off. It was all part of a super realistic approach to it, with this sort of it's almost like the person who's doing this doesn't have good vision, that their eyesight is bad. but they still catch everything. This shot, just look at this shot. Look at the head slanted this way, the shoulders slanted this way, the neckline, the hip up, this arm down, that arm down, line, 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 line. It's just incredible. And this, of course, the model's constantly moving, and Sarah's taking the shot at the point where she wants to take it. Another Polaroid negative or positive. She would actually do fashion shoots on Polaroid film, 4x5 Polaroid film, and the images, the Polaroid images, are the images that they would run. So they would actually scan the Polaroids. There was nothing she didn't do camera-wise. She knew her way around strobes. There's no doubt about it. She really, really knew her way around strobes. But there was also, her softness, her big window lights and things like that were mostly what she did. So this shot, is it strobe? Is it window light? I don't know. New York has, New York, Paris, London, all have these great rental studios that a lot of fashion photographers use, called daylight studios. And if you look up Milk Studios in New York, check out their website and look at the kind of facilities they have. Giant 2-story window, north-facing windows, and you can just shoot right inside there with no lighting at all. Your natural light. There's so much light. And of course the room is painted white and there's light bouncing everywhere. Check it out. But look at this this great shot. Again, the hand in front of the face, almost anonymous. Look at the line. Boom, boom, boom. It's a Z right there. Her arm coming up and then her shoulder craftily dropping down and then pulling back into the hip. This is all part of the style and the way the models would work with the photographers and the way the photographers would have the models work. Sarah's models are not posing, they're moving. They're dancing slowly. They're going through poses very slowly, and she's catching them. On a large format camera, she would get the model moving, because she can't look through the camera when she's making a photograph. You have to, on a large format camera, you can't look through the camera when the dark slide's pulled because your film holder's in there. So you have to sit right by the camera, look through the camera, and she would just get them moving and just trip that shutter. And then everything stops and she has to change. It's very Zen-like. There's a lot going on there with the photographer time-wise. It's very slow to shoot the large format cameras. It's very fast to shoot a motorized Nikon. And all of that contributes to the type of image. Love this portrait. I remember this portrait. I love it. I just love the line here and the way the light just drops off and the grain and the soft color palette. If you want to ask me what kind of film she used, she probably was using, some Agfa-Pan and maybe Ektachrome 800 push 2 stops, and you'd lose all the color and you just get a lot of grain. I mean, it's all kinds of things that she could have done. Wait till you see this one. This one just will knock you out. Look at the light. Look at the line. Look at the old time feeling, and yet it's a very modern fashion photograph. She just excelled at that. I shouldn't say she excelled at it. She's still shooting. She's much older, but she's still shooting and doing amazing things and absolutely stunning things. I wanted to show you the pictures that I remembered that I loved. I tried reproducing this look so often. I got to be a little bit of a trademark. And there was, technically I could go into a whole technical way of how to do this, but I'm not going to do that because that's not what this series of stuff is about. But suffice it to say that it was very whimsical, and you got what you got, and you could control only a little bit of the area, and the rest of it was kind of left to chance, how the light was moving around, how your subject was moving around. I did it with both small cameras and large format, and boy, it was time consuming. It was a lot of fun. This picture just like made me crazy. I loved, look at the little curls of hair coming out, you know. I just absolutely love everything about it. And like I say, they're very feminine women being very feminine in front of the camera. And of course, the cover shot here that I used. Look at the crop. Look at the line. Look at the little shadow. It looks like a ring light, right? It's probably not a ring light. It's probably some bounce light coming in. But it's just this, you know, but who cares what kind of light it was? A picture knocks you out. So yeah, Sarah Moon, one of the greats. There's a bunch of links down below, and I hope you go and take a look at her work. I hope that some of it inspires you, as like it inspired me. I've been a fan since the day I saw it in Venice Beach a long time ago, before I had gray hair. Everybody have a great rest of your day, great week. If you like what I'm doing, hit the subscribe button. I don't give a damn about the bell, because it's up to you if you want to come and look at it. But do hit the subscribe, then you'll know when I put stuff up. And thanks very much. Leave a comment below. Talk to you later.